All right, today in this video, we're going to have some moving average tips and tricks, things you can use trading with the moving average. And one moving average we're going to be using today in this video, there's several different ways you can use them, but we're going to use the 200 EMA. That's the exponential moving average. And we're just going to have some tips and tricks to use it. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to, so what time frame, right? We're going to use it on the daily time frame. So you're going to put this thing on a chart on the daily time frame. You'll be able to find this on any platform out there. So if you're using TradingView, if you're using MetaTrader, NinjaTrader, Webull, Robinhood, they all have it. Everybody has it. And this is just called the exponential moving average. You'll change it to 200. And so the next thing that we are going to find is that we want, so it's this line right here. So, and again, I feel like I'm probably speaking to those who have an idea of what the moving average is. We can go into that maybe in a different video, but for this example's sake, what we want to do is we want to focus on some tips and tricks. And so this is the 200 moving average right here. This is it. So what we want to do is we want to put up on a chart and say we're right here. So say this is the day that we open up the chart and we see that the moving average is right at price. And so that's perfect. So what we want to do is we want to wait for something like this, but we want to wait for it to, this is still sideways. This is actually still sideways. We want to wait for it to, so here's earnings right here. It gave an initial pop. Great. And so now you see how it is far away. There's empty space. There's an empty space away from the EMA and the price. And so that's good. That is a good thing. So that's the first thing you want to see. Next thing you want to see is you want to see a pullback. You want to see a pullback in price. This is obviously going to be for a buy example. And you want to buy when it pulls back and touches that moving average. Now, there's several different ways. There's several different confirmations you can do. There's a lot of different things that you can do in this. What I usually like to do is wait for a confirmation candle. And so, yeah, we have this labeled as a buy, but it came back here, touched this. I'm going to wait for a green candle. So this is actually the next day. So that's the entry candle right there. So these are daily candles too. This is a daily chart. These are daily candles. And again, another thing you could do as well, and I would not just trade a moving average. I always like to look at other levels, so I actually should explain this as well. This bounce off, there was a level right here. It bounced off of this level as well, and so you want to see a retrace into some kind of a support, and so that is also another reason why. So we wait for that. We wait for a green candle. Now we go. And so that's you don't ever just want to use one thing. And so that's kind of an example of how you could use an EMA, a 200 EMA on a daily chart. Here's another example to the downside. And another tip is that you can actually use this for a trailing stop loss. And so say you go short here and you have your stop loss up there initially, you could wait maybe like 5 candles. And so maybe that's like 5 trading days till you start to really, because sometimes if you do get it in here and you put your stop loss right here, it could come back and just immediately hit that. I think waiting 5 good days, especially if it's below this moving average. And then now you can just continue to just move your stop loss with this, move it until it comes back and touches it. Then finally you can get out of that trade. So that's another good tip. This is a great moving average to do it, especially when you get these strong momentum moves. That's another little tip that you can use. You can see right here, very steep EMA angle. So you definitely don't want to ever be trading against that, right? So this is a strong uptrend. You don't want to be trying to go short here. I mean, it's very hard to time this. There's a lot of people that try it. It's very hard to though. You can use candle patterns and things like that, and you can trade this to this level. But that's a different day. That's a different strategy, and that's very hard to do. But for this particular system, for this particular trade ideas, we like to have it pull back and come back to these levels, and then that's when we continue to the upside. So that's just another little example of that. Let's actually go over now to a real live chart. Let's actually see if there's anything that we could find. And so this was a gold chart. And so you can see this is our moving average, and I can actually make this a little bit So we got the line there, and then where is, here we go. Let's say I want to make it a little bit thicker. Let's get a little line. So here is, so this blue line obviously is the EMA. And so here we go. So we are on the daily. This is gold. And so basically what happened here is it separated itself from the EMA. So that was the first thing we wanted to see. So that's good. Now we wait for a pullback. So we had a pullback right there. And then what do you know? As soon as it came back into this level, it bounced. It did a nice bounce, and it actually retested itself. And so a great entry here would have been as soon as it basically had touched this. This was honestly, it was very close, very, very close. I mean, if you're watching this and it barely, I don't even know if it touched that. It's very close. But I would definitely consider that a pullback into the moving average. Would you not? And so this is a good. Now we got a green candle. Go long right here. It did another little retest. We can wait 5 candles, and honestly, the trailing. And so here's a couple things that you'd have to think about. Every trade is different. Every single trade is going to be a different outcome. It's going to be you do have to be consistent. But when you see something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles that literally went straight up, and you got a stop loss down here, there is no reason why you should not have moved that stop loss at some point, because that's just it's gonna start to go sideways, come back down again. It's just, especially if you're trading something like gold, and so you could use this strategy of doing the stop loss, but you're not getting a ton here. So if you traded here, I mean, I guess that's not terrible. Do I have the replay here? So this would have been, I think you would have got stopped out. Yeah, you would have got stopped out right here. And I guess that's not terrible. I guess our trailing moving average wasn't too bad. But I think somewhere up here, when you broke this level and you started to see it, I would say get out up here. That's just a little bit. I mean, you got your perfect entry. You know it's come down here and retest this at some point. Get yourself your profits. Get yourself some, get out of here up here, especially when it breaks this level and it just kind of stalls. That's just my 2 cents. But again, we're focused on the moving average, and so this was a simple entry. This was we found it simply with something like just one moving average and a retest of a level. So, and you can see that right there, how price did, touch this level here and respected it. Here's a bounce right there, a bounce right there. So, again, so that's just a couple different ways you can use a moving average on your chart. There are several other strategies on the lower time frames, on different stocks, on different pairs, currency pairs, on Bitcoin, on different crypto, on altcoins. I mean, you can really use these moving averages, a lot of different ways. But this is just one really good way to use them. Use just one particular one on the higher time frame. All right, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give us a quick little thumbs up. Maybe a comment if you have other suggestions. Do you use the moving average this way? Do you use the simple moving average? Do you use it on the lower time frames? Give us a little comment below, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the feedback. And if there's something that I find that's interesting, where it's like, oh, well, maybe I'll test it. Maybe I'll do a future video on that. All right, that's it for this video, though, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.